Hey, I don't know if I lost you. I don't know what happened. It was just kind of weird. I was talking, and all of a sudden there was
Hey,
silence.
everybody.
And
How are you tonight? I am here to do some live readings. What I love about live readings is how spirit is so quick and so responsive. All I need is your first name and you will get a reading. However, you will have to comment that, yes, Donna, I would like a reading, and that's when I'll do it. So I'm by myself. I'm just going to be waiting for people to log on, see if anybody sees that it's live. And if you're here, all you need to do, if you'd like a reading, is to put a comment in the chat that just says, "Hey, Donna, I'd love a reading. Thanks." And then give me your first name in that chat box. That way, I have your permission to allow spirit to come through. I'm just going to check a little bit of my background here. Okay, that looks good. It's going to start to get dark here pretty soon. Hopefully my light will stay with me. Great. I've already got some people logging in. Rebecca, I see you, but your name is Bernadette. Thank you for telling me that. So I'm going to go with Bernadette first. I just want to make a note to myself here. So is Rebecca. So if you're here with me joining, just kind of stay present with me. I'm just going to use your first name. If when I'm done with the reading and it resonated with you, then go ahead, write something in the comments that I know. You won't be able to ask any questions, unfortunately. I'm just going to spit out for you what spirit is showing me right now. And if you tell me also in the chat at some point, Bernadette, how you heard about this live. I want to see how my promotions are getting out there and who's listening and how it's getting, if it's reaching the amount of people I want it to reach. I appreciate that. And I hope you're following me and that you like this live event. Okay, Bernadette, going with you first. Bernadette, the first thing I'm seeing for you is spirit showing me your eyes are very wide. Your eyes are very wide as you look at what's in front of you, as you look at what might be coming down the road for you, but you want what you want. You want spirit to give you just what you want. And even though I'm seeing your eyes are wide open and you're allowing for what's going to come, I feel there's a part of you that still anticipates, that still comes with some expectations of what you are meant to have in this present moment. Spirit knows what's best. Spirit has your back. Our job here, our purpose here in this lifetime as a human is to stay present and to be ready. By being ready, we make sure we have a lot of tools that we can use when something comes toward us, whether it's a connection with spirit, whether it's a connection to our intuition, yoga, meditation, tai chi, whatever mode or form you use, Bernadette, into receiving your messages from spirit. So I like the idea, again, I'm seeing you with your eyes wide open, but I'm also seeing you like put your hands against the wall, almost like a mime would do. Like you might think there's a wall around you and that there is a wall stopping you from perceiving your messages from spirit. And spirit saying there is no wall, only the walls that your heart has made over the lifetimes. So, Spirit's telling me if you would accept, number one, that you have no walls around you in front of you, that you're open. Also, accept, number two, that there are walls around your heart. First, you could say that the love you have for yourself, the wall that is being presented presents itself as a wall to protect you from what you think might be outside waiting for you. Might be something, I don't like the word negative, I don't like the word bad, but you've used it in many lifetimes to protect your heart. And what it's doing now is it built up. It built up over many lifetimes. So, as you can see now, once you say, I am ready, and I am going to break down the walls that I perceive. And you might, as you say these things, maybe in your meditation, you might experience tears. And tears are the melting of that iceberg that surrounds your heart. So allow that heart to open so that it can see, because remember, you're viewing everything that's coming. Allow your heart to open so that it sees what is coming. It wants you to see it. Spirit saying, we are ready for her. Is she ready for us? So let me know. Are you ready? Are you ready, Bernadette? Are you ready for Spirit? Okay, Rebecca says, thank you that you subscribe and got a notification. I appreciate that, Rebecca, so much. And she's a Girl Scout, so she's saying she's going to be prepared. You can always prepare, right? Prepare can happen in the moment. It can happen, could have happened yesterday, but realize that preparing is not being ready. So use your preparedness to be ready so that you've exceeded everything you needed to be prepared for. And now you are ready. She's saying, ready to release perceived walls. Good one, Bernadette. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate the likes and subscriptions. You are so very welcome, Bernadette. Thank you. So if anybody's here listening, I appreciate you being here. If you'd like a reading, just post in the chat. Yes, Donna, I would love a reading. And then give me your first name if it is not the first name on your profile. Thanks. All I'm going to be doing is giving quick readings, short readings. I'm going to allow Spirit to just jump right in. That is what I love about these readings, is the quickness of which Spirit responds. I'll typically get an image in my mind as I repeat your name in my head, and I immediately interpret that image. And it goes pretty fast. I'll spit out stuff pretty fast. In a reading, I go slower. In a reading, you have time to ask questions. In a reading, we can move on when everything has been used up and we've gone through every interpretation and I've gotten all that confirmation. But here for these quick readings, all I'm going to do is connect with Spirit in that moment and spit out things that you need to know in this moment for your human's advancement, for your human's connection to soul. So if there's anybody on, I see there's just one or two people on right now. If you'd like a reading, just put in the chat, yes, Donna, I'd love a reading. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about myself. I have 2 books that are available on Amazon right now. Just go onto Amazon and Google Donna Boyle author or Donna Boyle medium. And they're very inexpensive. I think they're $9.20. You can buy either the physical copy, or for 99 cents, you can have a Kindle copy or an e-copy. And you can read that on your computer or on your Kindle or whatever device that you use. So I appreciate all of those that come through. I do offer private readings. I have half an hour or hour readings. You can get your basic reading, which is I just start spitting things out. You ask questions. I may connect you with a past life, with a loved one who has crossed. And then there's a 60-minute reading that comes with a poem from the universe, which is always a beautiful thing. And one of my books is called I Am Vessel and Verse, and that is a collection of poetry that I've done for my clients in private readings and also in groups, and they've all given their permission to share in my book. It's a beautiful thing. Again, if you're here and you'd like a reading, just post in the chat. Hi, Donna, I'd love a reading, and give me your first name. What else do I have going on? You can find me on all social media. I am here on YouTube. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I have at least 4 blogs that are out there right now that I've started over 12 years ago when I first started seeing Spirit and became a medium, because it took a while. I did a lot of practice. I realized that for 30 years, I've been following a spiritual path. I've been listening to my gut. I've been listening to my dreams. I've been asking and receiving messages from spirit. So as I started actually seeing spirit in 2012, it was very easy for me to just take that road into mediumship. So I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to give a few more readings. I'm just waiting to see a bunch of more people come on, and I put it out there. If you can tell me how you heard about this, that helps me, and I see how my promoting is going on. So if you're here and you'd like a reading, just post in the chat. Thank you, Donna. I would love a reading. And then give me your first name. What else am I doing? I do offer group readings also, or group classes. So if you and a bunch of your friends, whether it's one, two, three, or four people, would like to have a class, a group class, I would do it on Zoom, unless you're in the Connecticut area somewhere. I would do it on Zoom, and we can do anything from intuitive development, mediumship development, automatic writing, anything that sounds good to you. That's all listed on my website, which you can find on my Linktree profile, which is all over my social media. Okay, I've got Elizabeth here. And Elizabeth, I'm assuming that is your name, because that is what I need, your first name, not someone else's first name. Because otherwise, because that's happened once before. Someone wanted to hear from a loved one, and I said, okay, just say their first name. And she said, John. So I started reading John, and she said, oh, that totally makes sense, but that's John Sr. I wanted John Jr. Well, you didn't say that. So I started reading John Sr. He was the first one that popped in. So it's very important to give me your first name. Otherwise, I'm going off of something spirit's like, that's not the name I know. So, Elizabeth, I'm going to go with you. Everybody that's here, just take a deep breath in and out. Thank you so much for joining. If you do hit that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. And if you follow me here on YouTube, I appreciate that also. Elizabeth, what I'm seeing from spirit is along this journey that you're on, you have the tendency to look at the ground. Maybe because you think that you have to stay grounded in all aspects. Someone at some point told you, make sure you ground yourself. And when you wake up in the morning, make sure you protect yourself by grounding, and always got to do your grounding exercises. I feel a lot of people get caught up in that old paradigm thought. If you're grounding all the time, you're not ascending. And if you're grounding all the time, you're keeping yourself planted in the earth plane when spirit comes in through to the multidimensional planes around us. So you can absolutely ground, but find some balance with the ascension, whether you do it through meditation or whether you accept everything that's coming in as your present moment awareness, and using all of that over and over again in each moment. So, Elizabeth, I see you looking at the ground and searching and searching. And if you would look up, like if I just want to take your chin and go like this, if you would look up, Spirit says, look what's here. Look at this wide open space. And as I'm interpreting the image, I see the space around you, and it's very white. White means you have the ability to set into motion what you want to paint, what you want, how you want to paint your future moments. However, looking down at the ground is not the present. Looking up and receiving everything around you is the present moment. I'm seeing that make sense to you, Elizabeth. I see yeses there. So take a breath with me. This is no good, bad, right, or wrong. Again, these are about what spirit needs you to know. And here's what you need to know. So here you are now. And I feel like maybe your knees are tired. I don't know if your knees are hurting too, because you've been bending for so long. You've been on your knees for so long, looking at the ground, looking for answers, because you thought answers that the present moment was in the ground. Present moment is all around you. The present moment is filling the multidimensional space around you, not just what's around me here, my chair, my wall, my pictures, my desk. There's more to this space than just what you see in the 3D world. And if you've been following me for a while, you see I now record spirit voices. And that's given me more proof that the dimensions around us are right here. Like we are cloaked to them. They're cloaked to us. Like the Star Trek episodes where they can't see ships because they're cloaked, they're disappeared. We can't see them. They are like coming past us like an eclipse. And if we're not in the present moment receiving, remember everything in the dimensional space around you, if you're just looking at the 3D world, as they eclipse by, you won't see them. So open your eyes, lift your head, get up off your knees, stop squatting, stop bending, and say to Spirit, I'm looking now. I'm looking at all the space around me. I'm looking at the dimensional space all around me. And I see you having no problems doing that. I see you in my head already, standing up. And there are parts of you that might say, but what about that? What about back there? What about when that happened? I get you. It's time to say, it doesn't matter about that. What is the emotion that's coming up in that moment? And you may say it's because of that, but that helped you. That emotion that came up because of that in the past is going to help you now go forward, because that emotion might still be with you. So if I'm still holding on to an emotion or a person from a past experience, I am not living here. Living here is feeling the emotion and asking the emotion, what do you need to show me? What do I need to see? What do I need to understand? And that's the you that was looking down before. But now, as you look up, that emotion may come up. And as I said, the last person, Bernadette, that I read, there may be tears, but tears are that emotion leaving your body. Again, not attached to that, present with it here. And Elizabeth said, absolutely, that makes complete sense for her. Thank you so much for saying that. I so appreciate it. Elizabeth, let me know how you found out about this live so I know how my promoting is working, if it is. Thank you so much. You're so very welcome, Elizabeth. And I'm sure you're going to use all of this. And in fact, people that'll watch this later, this live event later, they're going to resonate with these mini readings for you guys too. So you are helping not just yourself, but many other people that say, huh, I think I'm doing that too. That makes sense. I want to feel more of spirit. How can I do that? How can you do that? For me, I ask a lot. I do automatic writing. I ask before I go to sleep, what do I need to know? Because I feel I'm missing something maybe. And I'll say, show it to me in a dream. Because maybe during the day, I wasn't attuned to it. Sometimes when I do a reading, a message will come through for both of us, myself and my client. And I'll say, oh, well, that makes total sense. Because maybe I wasn't listening. Maybe I didn't meditate for the last week or so. And that's fine. I don't judge myself anymore for that. I try to meditate all throughout the day. So if I can't sit in meditation in the morning and I have to, we'll say, be somewhere, if I'm driving, I am conscious of just driving. If I'm speaking with someone, I'm conscious of just speaking with that person, making eye contact, showing empathy, showing listening. So that to me is all meditation. Thanks everybody for joining. If you'd like a reading, you need to post in the chat, yes, Donna, I'd like a reading, and then give me your first name. Sergio, thank you for telling me you found out through Facebook. Great. I hope you follow me and subscribe to this channel also. And thanks for hitting the thumbs up button. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm going to give a few more readings. So if there's anybody on the line here watching, you need to write in the chat. You need to give me permission because I can't tell who you are just by seeing that there are people here. You have to put in the chat, yes, Donna, I'd like a reading, and then make sure I have your first name. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about myself I mentioned my books. I mentioned all my social media. I love to give classes. I'm teaching a private class coming up soon, shortly, which is going to be so much fun. Go to my website. You can see all of that on there, what the cost is for that. And just let me know. Shoot me an email, dboylmedium@gmail.com if you have any questions. I appreciate that. What else is going on? Happy that spring's finally arriving. I spent a lot of time in Brooklyn, New York. If anybody on here is from Brooklyn ever, we can do a face-to-face reading. If you're in the Connecticut area, anywhere really in Connecticut, and you'd like a face-to-face reading, or you would like a group reading, or you would like a class or an automatic writing class, then just go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to be doing a class at the public library here next week, which I'm very excited about. It's sold out like that. So I'm very happy that people are interested in new ways to connect to spirit, to connect to your soul and see what it needs to tell you right now as a human that you are. And the soul is really your expanded self. It doesn't, it's not like your higher self. I don't like that word anymore. That's old paradigm. It's your expanded self. Because remember, we were just talking about not just up or down, but all around. So expansion can happen all around, in or out or left, right, and up and down. All right, Sergio, I'm just making sure that is your name. Sergio would like a reading also. So I'm just going to write that down. Great. Sergio, take a deep breath in and out. I'm just going to spit out some things for you. Sergio, I'm seeing from spirit that you give of yourself very freely. You give information, you give advice, you give and you give of yourself. But don't forget that as you keep giving out, I see you as shooting cards out of your hand, unless you're a dealer of some sort in a casino, then sometimes that works. You're dealing cards out, like you're getting rid of all of these things for yourself, which is wonderful. No good, bad, right, or wrong, helping other people. However, don't forget, as you give out all those cards, it makes the deck go down. It makes your deck go down. So always remember to fill up yourself. I'm seeing, Sergio, I don't know if you have stomach issues. I'm getting a little bit of a stomach ache. It could be nervous. It could be anxiety. I feel it's mostly in my colon. So stomach is underneath the rib cage, but stomach aches tend to happen throughout the belly area. So I don't know if you're having something like that, or if someone that you know, either in this world or in the that has crossed, that has a stomach ache. You can let me know in the chat, Sergio, if that's resonating with you at all. Because what I feel is anxiety. I feel nervous. I feel anxious, and that's causing me to have a stomach ache. So, Sergio, I see you saying yes. Is that you that has a stomach ache, or you know someone? Be specific for me. It's okay because I'm focusing just on you right now. And again, I'm saying it's an anxiousness. It's not something that's medically wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you what spirit's given me right now. But if there is something that's concerning you, then please go see your practitioner of some sort. But I feel it's anxiety. I feel that as soon as your stomach starts hurting, you like close up more. And the more I close up like this, the more that area hurts me. I want to breathe through it. So Spirit's offering you this. When you go to bed at night, with all the lights off and lying in your bed, take two hands and place them on your belly, that whole area of your belly. And Spirit wants you to, as you breathe in, expand the belly out so that your hands will start to lift. And as you exhale, the hands will drop down and your belly button will draw back to your spine. So you're keeping your hands on the belly. With each breath, the inhale, the belly rises. And on the exhale, the belly drops. Inhale, belly expands. And they want you to do that for a little bit. If you put music on in the background, that's fine. Meditation music of some sort, they're saying that's fine. But they want you to connect with your breath more. And once you figured that connection out and what it's bringing up in you as you breathe, you may have some emotion go ahead and feel it. That's why you're doing it by yourself in bed, right? And there's no one else around. You have the comfort and the ease to be able to express yourself in that moment. But when you become comfortable with your breath, then spirit wants you to take it out into the world. So when you start having the anxious tummy feelings, you're going to remember that breath. And you don't have to put your hands on your belly when you're out in the world. You can just take those deep breaths, bringing breath into the belly as it expands. And as you exhale, the belly button deflates back to the spine. They want you to start practicing this and using it as a tool, because when you send breath to the belly, you are allowing all those stuck emotions to come out. And that's what we want. The belly, behind the belly button, is the center, the Hara center. And the Hara center is where we store emotions. And that's why we get stomach aches, because we're not feeling. And then it manifests in our shoulders, and then it manifests in our lower back. But stress and anxiety typically will start in the stomach, may cause reflux, may cause GERD, and will cause cramping in the stomach. So they want the breath. They want you to feel the breath, Sergio. Do you understand that? Sergio, I also have a grandfather figure here. Do you have a grandfather that's in the world of spirit? Um, this grandfather, he's rather tall. I feel that he didn't cross of old age. He might have been mid-range, we'll say 60s, 70s, early 80s. He's not really saying anything, but he's wanting to express himself. I'm feeling like when he was here in the physical world, he didn't do a lot of expressing. His emotions weren't out. So if you picked that up from him, Sergio, if you picked up that hiding the emotions, burying the emotions from this grandfather that I'm sensing, could be any grandfather, it could be a grandfather's father, but it's an extension of you. So whatever happened, you picked up this figure's ability to keep emotions buried. So breathe fully. Sergio saying, thanks, that works. That you understand. I appreciate that, Sergio. Thank you so much for being here. Teresa, I see you as being next. You've had a reading before. Great. Okay. So I'm just doing quick readings here. I'm only going to do about one or two more. If you're here with me, thumbs up to the event. That would be great for me. And if you want to share it or watch it later, it'll be recorded and I'll keep it on my YouTube channel. So Teresa, here we go. Full breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Teresa, I see you as a very studious person. Read a lot of books, use a lot of words, have studied really hard to be able to speak the way you speak, all well and good. But I feel your nose has been in the book for a long time. And with the nose in the book, they want you more, spirit wants you more to experience. And I also see you doing a lot of teaching to others. I'm not sure if it's one on one or if there's three or four people in front of me right now. I can't tell one on one you're going to. And again, like Sergio had this sort of the same feeling, I feel. You're giving away a lot, and that's great, but don't forget yourself. I feel the books only take you so far, Teresa. The books are great to read and to gain knowledge, but it's time to integrate and experience what the books are teaching you. For me, it was well over 20 years ago, probably almost 30 years, when I first read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I didn't understand half of it, but I'm highlighting everything. And then I put it down. And a couple of years later, I picked it back up again because I was experiencing. I felt I don't want to learn anymore through books. I want to learn through experience. Come at me with it. I was using my relationships. I was using my dreams. I was using therapy to figure out what I needed in that moment. And when I picked up the book again a few years later and I reread the parts that were highlighted, I realized, oh, I was doing exactly this. what I highlighted, I'd been doing that. I didn't even realize that I was picking up what I read. So, Teresa, what they're telling you is you know it, you have it, you have the ability, you've read it enough. It's time to really experience. So Teresa's saying, yes, I've been reading so many spiritual books, maybe too many different ones at a time. Exactly. Put them all away, put them on the shelf. You don't have to give them away. I had every book imaginable, but I don't know if I read them all. I would just open them up to a page like in the morning and what do I need to know? But I wanted, even when I first became a medium, when I first started seeing spirit, I read one book that my mother gave me. It was called The Eagle and the Rose by Rosemary Altea. I didn't want to read anymore. I didn't know that consciously until later. I wanted spirit to give me the information. So as you read and read and read, Teresa, you're telling spirit that inherently you don't know yet, that what you're reading is really confirming what you already know, that it's time now to experience it all because you already know it. Your soul came with you in this lifetime. Your soul's not somewhere else. Your soul's not in those books that you're reading. Your soul is right here with you. That's pretty cool. Your soul is right there with you, and it can tell you everything you need. However, if you're reading a book and someone else's words are coming through and it's not spirit, what are we going to do? How is your soul going to speak to your humanness? So, yeah, I put my books on the shelves. When I started moving around, because I lived out of my car for a couple of years, I couldn't keep all those books. So I lovingly donated them. I kept my 3 or 4 favorites that I haven't picked up at all, but I feel like those are the ones I would pass on to my daughter. And I've already given her 1 or 2, but I want to keep just the ones that I know have meant so much to me. So keep a few, have them over on your shelf, but remember, Teresa, that you already know. Spirit's saying, don't stop speaking to people. Don't stop speaking. Keep going. But remember, don't quote other people. Speak from your heart. One of my pet peeves, I have a few pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is when people say, well, it was Gandhi that said. I don't want to know what Gandhi said. I want to know what you're saying. I want to know how Gandhi's quote affected you, but don't quote me him. I can read that in any book. I want to know how you are affected by what you read without telling me the book you read, without telling me the author that you have. Just use your soul experiences because your soul's speaking all the time. Your soul's saying, I've been knocking on the door. Just open the door. Soul says, I was about ready to go to a window and like see her through the window and say, hello, I'm right here. So notice that, Teresa. Teresa saying, oh my God, so true. Thank you. Um, just experience more. That's exactly what I'm saying, what Spirit's saying. Experience more. Okay, I'm done for the evening. I want to thank everybody so, so much. Stay tuned to YouTube for these. And if you'd like a private reading, just go ahead and email me. You're more than welcome, Teresa. Thanks, everybody, for joining. How about the thumbs up and sharing this if you can? Make sure you subscribe. And if you're on any other social media, go ahead and follow me there. Take care, everybody. Have a great evening and enjoy spring. It's coming.